What's up, guys? And Big Nash here again, one more time. This is the final dungeon guide, and this is the Scarlet Monastery. Heroic version, of course, and as always, the abilities will be scrolling above my head, so if you want to pause them and take a look at them, feel free. This first boss is pretty simple, okay? All you really need to do is have the tank pick him up, and he's going to spawn ads, okay? The job is pretty much make sure that the tank gets aggro on the ads, you switch to the ads, you burn the ads, then you switch back to the boss and burn the boss. It's pretty much the same way the entire time. Again, this is another one of those redone dungeons that looks really good. Great job by Blizzard here. This first boss, again, is pretty simple. Again, as long as you're switching to that ad and killing them, there's really not a whole lot else that you're really going to need to worry about as a healer, just except to make sure that they're switching to the ad. If you can help DPS, this is going to be one of those fights where you're probably going to be able to, because there's not a ton of damage going out. He will spawn ads regularly though, so like I said, again, just make sure that the tank's picking them up, grouping them all up, and that you're really burning down the ads. If you can throw down any AoE on the melee or the tank just to try to blanket heal everybody, you're going to be in a lot better situation. It doesn't take a whole lot to heal. Those ads will hit decently hard if they're not on the tank, so I would recommend making sure that your tank is picking those up, that if you have like a misdirect or a tricks or anything that you can do, or any aggro dropper, if you see that your tank's having a problem, go ahead and help them out, guys. It's always more important to make sure that the tank's got the ads, because it's going to help your healer out, and it's going to help you out, especially if you're a caster. It's not going to slow down your cast time or anything like that. But again, that's literally as easy as this first boss is kill the ads, burn the boss, and then you're pretty much just doing an AoE fest at the end till the boss dies. And other than that, it's GG. You'll see a lot of DPS kind of cheesing the meters on this one, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. So you get through this fight, and then it's on to the next boss, guys. And as I said before, there's really not a whole lot going on. The artwork in here is absolutely awesome. They've revamped this entire dungeon. As you can see, once this first boss dies, you'll go into the second boss. And the second boss is, if you remember from all the olden expansions, kind of that nice like waterfall and the stairs with all the ponds and everything. Well, that's back. The trick is with this boss is the only things that you really are going to have to worry about is you're going to have to worry about his big AoE that he does. It's a lot less impressive than the animation. The animation looks awesome. It looks like he's breathing all this fire, like everybody should be dying. Oh my gosh. And as long as you're a little ways away from him, it's not going to hurt you. The animation is much bigger than the actual target of the damage. So keep that in mind, that you do want to stay away from it as best you can, but it's not a huge deal if you're in it, especially if like you're a melee or a tank. Just pop any magical reduction cooldown right there, and you'll be okay to go. Healers, I wouldn't recommend standing in it. But again, it's not going to be something that kills you as long as you're aware of what's going on when that happens. Other than that, guys, this boss is pretty much, I mean, that's just what he does. He will do a couple different abilities towards the tank. Again, they're not towards the raid. The main raid damage is where he jumps, picks a random player, and just starts nuking them. So as anyone who's not a tank in this fight, your main job is, again, to sprint over or sprint away from the ad if he jumps at you, otherwise stay away from the fire. And that's pretty much what you have to do. He will leave trails of fire on the ground as well. Make sure you're staying out of those. And again, this is pretty much mainly in heroic mode, a tank and spake fight. You should not have much trouble with it at all. That would be my recommendation, is just to keep an eye out for anybody standing real close to the fire. But typically DPS can nuke this guy down pretty quick. You'll see that as the fight goes on, the patches of fire tend to, you know, they multiply obviously, but I mean there's more of them, so he will leave them in his path. So it is kind of important sometimes for you to kite the boss a little bit. As you can see here, I'm literally just standing in the fire to see how much damage it would do, and it didn't really do enough to really kill me, so it's not a huge deal. Again, there he targeted me and jumped on me again. Not a big deal again. Just move away from it and you're good to go. As long as you can keep your head up and keep your eyes open, you should be okay. Again, you don't really need to kite the boss at all, but you can. And then the last boss, kind of the same as it was before, is you're going to burn him down to like 50% or lower, and then once he gets there, You got another guy that comes out, and then he tries to mass res. If the guy gets a mass res off, this is what really kills the fight. Do not let him get that mass res off, guys. I'm telling you, it's so important to do. If he gets that mass res off, all the ads in the room will get back up. And there is an achievement if you can do it, but I recommend that if you're going to try for that achievement, you know ahead of time. Don't accidentally get it. It's not a fun one to accidentally try to get. But that's really what's going on here. As you can see right here, we're burning him down, burning him down. It actually looks like you kill him completely. Yep, you do. So you kill him completely, and then the doors open. The doors in the back will open. Another guy comes out. You start attacking him. He will actually, like, kind of sleep everybody when he hits, I think it's 50%, and then you get both of them up. You just burn them both down, and it's GG. Again, just make sure you have interrupts on mass res. He also has a healing ability. He's pretty much a priest. The Holy Smite won't really hurt. The ability that he does won't really hurt you that bad. The main two that you want to interrupt is the mass res and the heal. Those are the two key ones to interrupt. The mass res does take precedence over the heal. But again, he will stop and stun everybody and then res the other guy as well, so you will have to burn both of them down. But it's not that big of a deal. It's pretty quick to do, and then after that it's GG. So I hope you enjoyed the Dungeon Guide, guys. See ya in the miss, and like and subscribe if you'd like. Thanks for the support. See ya.